Let me turn to Associate Editor Sean OGrady of The Independent. Sean, we heard what Richard Bestick had to say. The fifth terror attack this year in London. What is the overall mood in your city?
Well, it's as good as it can be. I think people have been as shocked as they have been in other terror attacks. I think they're feeling, to be honest, quite lucky, especially the people who are on board that tube train, that it was in fact a sort of faulty device. It didn't detonate properly, and so that's why no one was killed. People had some burns, they had their hair singed and that sort of thing, but nowhere near life-threatening injuries. If the bomb had gone off properly, when the detonation had worked, it would have been a massive bomb in a confined space, because I think the train was just going into a tunnel, and there would have been many more people injured and many people killed as well. I don't think there's very much doubt about that. So it would have been like the 7/7 attacks that we had back in 2005 on buses and tube trains at that time, which was a major incident. So people feel lucky about that, in a sense, that it could have been a lot worse. And I mean, Londoners, I mean, I was on the Underground, I came here on the tube trains, and Londoners are carrying on with their lives as they should and as best they can.
So let me turn to the investigation. You're a journalist. What are you hearing from your sources? No claim of responsibility so far, but the big concern, as Richard and I were talking about it, could there be another such device that could work a lot better next time out there?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, it's all to play for. One of the most interesting things that happened today was that the British government did not raise the official security threat level, as it has done before, I think, when there have been terror attacks. And that indicates that there isn't another bomb waiting to go off out there, or at least the government and the security services think that there is not another bomb waiting to go off out there. But out there, there is a bomb maker, there is somebody who's intent on killing their fellow citizens, and there may be a bomb factory in inverted commas. I mean, it's more like somebody's flat where they put peroxide and other stuff together in order to make these bombs, as far as one can see. So there are people out there intent on evil, and they're being hunted at the moment, and that's where the investigation is.
Sean, why London? Time after time, we've seen this sort of thing happen in the great British capital.
Yes, that's true. And I think we've had a lot of attacks this year. It's a slightly odd affair. I mean, London is obviously a big global city. It's a famous city. It's a multicultural city. It's a city where lots of communities live and rub along pretty well on the whole, and they are still doing so now. Some of these attacks have been successful after a fashion, and also we had one in Manchester, for example. But the thing is that many more of these attacks were not successful over the past few years. So we have a terrorism problem, as other countries do, in France, Belgium, and Spain, for example. And so far, the authorities have been quite good at containing it and at thwarting some of the plans.
That's true.
But you only have to have, so to speak, a little bit of good luck on the part of the terrorists for a few more of them to get through, and then you've got, you know, quite a few attacks going on. But I mean, for example, the Westminster Bridge one was one man in a car who came over the bridge, injured people, and then stabbed a policeman.
Sean OGrady.
That wasn't a very high-tech crime, and you know, it wasn't actually on the scale of some of the other ones that we've had. So you've got to keep it in perspective.
You're absolutely right about that. Sean OGrady from The Independent. We certainly appreciate it.